there, and welcome to the Private Pilot channel. In this episode we bring you further updates from the SkyDemon camp. In our last video we told you about a new feature showing where the cloud tops are. This feature has now been developed further, and a pictorial view of the cloud has become easier to define. In line with that feature is a slide on the vertical radar, but we'll give you more about that later. This is a follow-on video from our previous video entitled SkyDemon New Features. I will include a link at the end of this video so you can have a look. For those of you who are not familiar with SkyDemon or have not seen our previous video yet, it's a navigational program for pilots. Don't miss out on further updates and videos of our flights and other tutorials. Press the subscribe button below this video. SkyDemon operates in two modes: planning mode and flight mode. We will start this episode off with the example on screen which shows SkyDemon in planning mode. In this example we have entered a flight from Manchester City Airport to Huddersfield Crossland Moor Airport. This is shown by the highlighted magenta line across the map, giving you a view from above. Also shown at the bottom of the screen is the vertical radar window, allowing you to visualize your profile against terrain and also against controlled airspace, basically giving you a side-on view of your flight. To activate some other features, we go to the top menu and locate the weather tab. This will draw down a menu as we described in the previous video. However, there has been a major change to this drop-down menu. The lowest cloud button has been removed, leaving just the rainfall button and the Flyable Conditions button. Previously, pressing the Flyable Conditions button would switch off the lowest cloud option and vice versa. Now, pressing the Flyable Conditions button activates both actions of cloud ceilings and the height of the cloud tops of the lowest layers of cloud. This action then shades the map to show where the clouds are most concentrated, and also gives a side view of the cloud layer against known terrain and controlled airspace within the vertical radar window. Before we delve into the cloud tops feature, a quick word about the cloud ceiling feature. With the Flyable Conditions activated, we see different coloured areas shaded on the map. This is highlighting the cloud ceiling. The darker the area, the lower the cloud ceiling. Here is where the changes have been made to SkyDemon. The cloud tops are no longer represented on the main map, just the cloud ceiling. I referred to my previous video, the way the cloud tops were shown is now different. I realised that unless you have watched my previous video on SkyDemon, this will not make much sense to you, as the previous update was never released. So moving on, if we take a point within the shaded area and tap on it to bring up the What's Here menu, from this panel we gain an array of information. Here shows the location we just tapped on. This position is Papa Oscar Lima, the VOR transmitter positioned at Pole Hill. Further down the panel it tells us the cloud ceiling is 1,150 feet at this spot, and is also in excess of 10 kilometers visibility below cloud. Okay, back to our trip to Huddersfield Crossland Moor. We have the plan screen in view with the weather option Flyable Conditions activated. Note, as we previously described, highlighted on the map is the cloud ceiling. The darker the shading, the lower the cloud ceiling. This now clearly shows where we are likely to enter cloud along our route, marked by the magenta line. But if we now look at the vertical radar, this is where the cloud tops of the lowest layer of cloud is shown. It is activated at the same time as the Flyable Conditions is activated using the same button. It's difficult to know what's going on here. The cloud in the vertical radar is a little hard to see because the window is so narrow, and it only rises with altitude, leaving the wind at the same width and losing the ground features. So a new welcomed addition is that now you can raise up the window to the eye levels, retaining the ground features while observing the upper layers of cloud and controlled airspace. This is done by sliding up the left hand side height scale. As well as the visual depiction of the cloud, if we look at the cloud of interest where the higher ground starts and the controlled airspace above, we find our options are quite limited in avoiding the cloud. If we tap on this area to bring up our familiar What's Here menu, the What's Here menu shows information for this area and also details of the controlled airspace above. If we look at the bottom of the What's Here menu, we see the weather forecast for this area and the time it is valid from. The forecast ceiling is also on the panel. It is showing 450 feet above ground level, so this would not be passable on this particular route. Maybe we can go over the top, but let's have a look. Located at the bottom centre of the panel is the lowest tops of lowest cloud layer. This is shown as 7,200 feet above mean sea level. The height of Class A controlled airspace is above 3,500 feet. So this flight would not be possible without entering cloud. Also on the panel is the visibility below cloud. This is quoted in excess of 10 kilometers. However, comparing this with other data on the panel, it does not seem to support this level of visibility, and therefore further investigation of the MECTARs will be necessary. Here is another new interesting feature that's been added to SkyDemon on the What's Here menu. If we take an area on the map, but this time now while we change it to the flight mode, and tap on the map in that area, up comes the What's Here menu with its usual airspace detail, but an additional function is the listening squawk code along with the relevant frequency. This information is also available on the radio tab. Well, that concludes our SkyDemon Update 1. I hope it's been informative and of interest to you. If you have any questions, please enter them in the comments below on the YouTube channel. You can also email me if you wish. The email link is located on our YouTube channel on screen. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on any updates or any new videos. So bye for now and happy flying.